And we're back. Trapped in a Video Game, chapters 5 and 6. Chapter 5, Jetpack Joyride. I probably don't need to tell you this, but jetpacks are amazing. This is something I learned firsthand when Eric led me to a spinning jetpack at the top of a waterfall right outside the portal. Go ahead, strap in. I strapped on the jetpack, trying hard not to act like this was the coolest moment of my life. Okay, now what? Jump off. Excuse me? Jump off the waterfall. I looked over the edge. The bottom of the waterfall was at least 200 feet down. Nope. Nobody, nope, nope. Can I just launch from here? You can, but it's more fun if you're falling first. Just press the button in your right hand to blast off and remember to land when it starts blinking. Wait, when what starts blinking? Exactly. Now go. With that, Eric pushed me off the edge of the waterfall. I've only tried the big diving board at the rec center pool once. Last year, Eric finally got me to climb to the top. At the top, I told him I changed my mind about jumping, so he helped me by pushing me off. I landed on my stomach and got a red mark that lasted the whole day. The lifeguard kicked Eric out of the pool, and I punched him in the stomach as hard as I could to show him what my landing felt like, but neither of those things stopped him from cackling about it for the rest of the week. Now here we were again, me falling to a watery grave and Eric laughing above. If I ever survived, I would do a lot more than punch him in the stomach. As the river rushed toward me, I tried to remember what Eric had said. Do I push this button? No, maybe this. Whoosh! The jetpack roared to life. I stopped falling, and for half a second I found myself suspended in midair. I noticed the impossibly green rainforest around me and the roaring river below and the ocean in the distance and thought that nothing could be more beautiful. Then I screamed into the air like an out-of-control bottle rocket. Ah! I blew past Eric, giving me a thumbs up at the top of the waterfall. You got it! I certainly didn't have it. I was spinning wildly and super close to upchucking again, but after 30 seconds of doing a perfect impression of an untied balloon losing all of its air, I finally started getting the hang of it. What followed was the best minute of my life as I flew around Hawaii by jetpack. I flew around Hawaii by jetpack. If there's a cooler sentence in the world, I can't think of it right now. I was having so much fun flying around Hawaii by jetpack, sorry, I just wanted to say it again, that I forgot about Eric's blinking warning. Then, 500 feet above a volcano, my jetpack started sputtering. I looked back. The fuel wasn't just running out. The jetpack itself was disappearing and reappearing on my back. I panicked and looked for a place to land, but it was too late. The jetpack disappeared for good. Oh no, no! I screamed as I fell toward the mouth of the volcano. I was so mad at Eric. Falling off of the 15-foot diving board is one thing. Falling into a pit of boiling lava is quite another. But just before I hit the lava, everything went white, and I found myself standing next to Eric on top of the waterfall again. Pretty cool, huh? Would it kill you to tell me what happens when the jetpack starts blinking? Eric laughed and strapped on the jetpack. Come on. Don't I get one? Yeah, it'll reappear in 5, 4, 3, 2... Another jetpack magically reappeared in its place. I strapped it on and we started flying. In the air, Eric explained the plot of this particular level. Something really stupid about the aliens using Pearl Harbor to launch their attacks and blah, blah, blah. I couldn't pay too much attention because I was flying around Hawaii by jetpack. We landed on a secluded beach, found more jetpacks, and took off again. When we got into the air, we were joined by 2 eagle-sized wasps. I nervously glanced over. One of them made eye contact and glared at me. What are those? I yelled to Eric. Oh, those are dumb. Do this, he said as he looped high into the air, circled behind one of the wasps, and blasted it. I don't think I can do that. It's not hard, Eric said. All you have to do is... While Eric talked, the remaining wasp's eyes started to glow red. Eric, what is that? Quick, pull up. I tried, but it was too late. The wasp zapped me with a laser. Ouch! Eric blasted the wasp and grabbed me. Come on. We landed on a black sand beach. At least I think the sand was black. It was hard to tell because everything was glowing red and pulsing. Here you go, try this, Eric said, as he led me to a suitcase with a red cross symbol on it. I reached out to grab it. The instant I touched it, it disappeared in a flash of white, and my vision cleared up. A warm tingle went through my body. Ooh, what was that? Medical kit. Anytime you get hurt, just find one, okay? Okay. You ready to keep going? I smiled. Let's do this. Eric and I spent the day blasting our way through Hawaii. We cleared out the enemy patrols on the beaches, collected new laser upgrades for our blasters, and sunk all the spaceships at Pearl Harbor. At sunset, we landed on a cliff overlooking the ocean. See that island out there? Eric asked. I squinted. Yeah, I think so. There's something really cool on it. You want to check it out? What is it? But Eric had already strapped on a jetpack and jumped off the cliff. You'll see. I sighed, waited 5 seconds, and strapped on my own jetpack. Wait up! I pushed to catch up with him, but Eric was about 50 feet ahead of me. 30 seconds into our flight, the island still seemed a couple of miles away. I don't think we're going to make it, I yelled ahead. Just then, a huge shadow fell over the ocean. Then screech! I looked up to see a bat the size of a small airplane swoop over Eric and grab him with 2 massive claws. Eric! At that moment, I felt claws dig into my own back.
Chapter 6,
Bats.
Boss Battle.
I hate bats so much.
With Eric and me in their talons, the bats flew toward the tiny island. As we got closer, the speck of land came into focus. Just a beach the size of a small backyard with a single palm tree in the middle. When we reached the island, the bats dive bombed, then thump, dumped us onto the beach and soared off. I brushed the sand out of my clothes. Was that supposed to happen? Of course. I walked towards Eric. We have to talk. I put my finger on my chest. You can't keep surprising me with... My voice trailed off because as I talked, a shadow fell over Eric. I slowly turned to see what it was this time. Or what it could be this time. A sand monster. Of course, why not? Behind me, a monster made of sand rose from the ground. It kept growing and growing. First the size of a 1-story home, then 2 stories, then as tall as one of those old houses with a big attic on top. Its face formed into angry eyes and massive fangs. I jabbed my thumb toward the furious monster behind me. Want to tell me what this is? The boss. I don't know what that means. This is a video game. Every few levels end with a big boss battle. You speaking gibberish? Eric rolled his eyes. If you blast him enough times in the glowing spot on his back or belly, he'll disappear. The portals will pop up. Fine. I'll be happy to go home where people aren't constantly tricking me and pushing me off waterfalls. Fine. Fine! I marched in front of the sand monster and it roared like a dinosaur. Oh, I'm real scared, I said as I blasted it in the mouth. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? Eat me? I charged up the full blast and shot it in the belly. It fell over shrieking, then grew bigger and angrier. Go ahead, eat me. It won't even hurt. I'll just come right back here and we'll do the whole thing again because this is a video game and video games are stupid. Oh, shut up, Eric yelled from across the level. What was that? Just save it. You know you're having fun. Oh, really? You know what would be fun? I dodged a spiky sandball that the monster threw at me. It's sand, and you might be saying, sand is soft. How could a sandball be spiky? I know, right? Video games are so dumb. What would be fun is having a real friend who explains things and lets me choose for myself. Eric blasted the monster in the back, and it fell over again. What? So I'm not a real friend now? The monster grew so big I couldn't see Eric anymore. So I just started yelling at the monster's belly, hoping Eric could hear me on the other side. I don't know. Real friends trust each other. I could hear Eric charging up his blaster. I charged mine too. Real friends know each other, Eric said. And this friend knows that you never want to have fun or make decisions for yourself. So sometimes he has to push you a little bit. Well, maybe you don't know me as well as you think you do. I blasted the monster's belly. Unknown to me, Eric blasted it back at the same time. In slow motion, the monster looked at me, then turned around to look at Eric. Then a funny thing happened. Its head started twitching unnaturally. As the monster's head snapped from me to Eric and back again, it started to roar. Or at least it started to trying to roar. Roar, 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 roar. It sounded like a lawnmower trying to start. Roar, 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 roar. Suddenly, the sand monster and island disappeared. Everything faded away, and we were left in a bright blue room. On the wall, words started to appear as if they were being typed. Error 2302. Activate Hindenburg Protocol. Yes, no. Okay, I said to Eric, what's the Hindenburg Protocol? His face was kind of white. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I mean, it's never done anything like this before. So should we pick no? Yeah, probably. I walked to the wall and touched no. The message disappeared. Eric and I looked at each other and waited for something to happen. Then the message started typing out again. Error 2302. Activate Hindenburg Protocol. Yes? No? I guess we don't have a choice, Eric said. He touched yes, and the room faded away. The island and ocean came back, but no more monster. That was weird, I said. Yeah, super weird. 3 portals started pushing through the ground in front of us. Why don't we both get out of here? Eric asked. We walked towards the middle portal, the home one, but stopped short once it began revealing itself. Something was wrong. The 2 other portals glowed bright blue and purple before us, but not in the middle one. The middle one was a dull gray, and it was locked.